Moses gives clear instruction to the people, and he says to them to be careful. He is mentioning this because of the seriousness of following the commandments and how they really lead us to life, and outside them is death, really a death in the soul of what really makes us truly human. This is what the church means when it talks about mortal sin. It's not a physical death, but an interior death that happens because of one's sin. This is seen in Adam and Eve when they turn their back on God's command. They experience this interior death. And this is why they hid from God. For all sin is a turning one's back on God, either knowingly or unknowingly. This is why, to overturn sin and the dominion of Satan, the Eternal Father sends his Son as a sacrifice to put a face on God's enduring love and mercy for us, and to win us back from our slavery to sin. Secondly, through the church, he gives us the sacraments to bring healing and grace to conquer sins. God does not wish the sinner to die, but to turn to him, and in the sacraments to bring back the life we lost because of sin. We can even say it's a grace to experience the death in sin if it helps us to turn back to the sacraments, if it helps us to be careful and realize we can really lose our soul, and we can be eternally separated from God. For Moses says to be careful, because he sees the real destructive life that one can lead if one does not seek to follow the path of the commandments, the relationships that they can destroy. He sees as the leader of the community the real death that could come about from throwing the commandments to the wind, as if they have no real guiding power, or they're not a real guiding light from God in this life, not only to live a good life, but to live in communion with God. This is the seriousness of them. They're not rules imposed on men, but more or less a heart offered to be in communion with God and one another, more than one's own egotistical pursuits. And if we break them, we drive a lance into the heart of Christ, and his suffering and his love for his enemies is meant to draw us back and out of sin, the realm of death, the realm of separation from God, which we decided to walk on our own when we sinned, the place where we stand whenever we sin mortally.